Hare Krishna. Welcome back to our Swadhyaya online reading retreat labs. So, as a part of this series, we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, canto number 9. So, in the last session, we have completed the five initial verses of the chapter number 6 of canto number 9. Today, we are going to start with the verse number 6 onwards. So, before we start, we will just quickly do a recap through our mind map. So this is our mind map. In the last session, we have completed till the verse number 1 to verse number 5, where we have talked about the descendants of Ambrish, Maharaj, and Ikshvaku in details, right? So this was the overall mind map. We have seen Ambrish had three sons, Virupa, Ketuman, Sambhu, and Virupa has again Prashadashva, and his son is Rathitara. Rathitara had no sons, and he begot son through wife of Rathitara through Angira. Then we talked about how Ikshvaku was born from Babashata Manu when he sneezed, and he had 100 sons, and his all sons were how they became the king in different part of Aryavrata, right? So this is what is a quick summary, and today we are going to start with the verse number 6 to 11. We'll be completing till verse number 11. So now without any delay, let's go to start with the verse number 6. Okay. During the months of January, February, and March, oblations offered to the forefathers are called Astaka Shraddha. The Shraddha ceremony is held during the dark fortnight of the month. When Maharaja Ikshvaku was performing his oblations in the ceremony, he ordered his son Vikukṣi to go immediately to the forest to bring some pure flesh. Verse number 7. Thereafter, Ikshvaku's son Vikukṣi went to the forest and killed many animals suitable for being offered as oblations. But when fatigued and hungry, he became forgetful and ate a rabbit he had killed. Purport. It is evident that the Kshatriyas killed animals in the forest because the flesh of the animals was suitable to be offered at a particular type of yajna. Offering oblations to the forefathers in the ceremony known as Shraddha is also a kind of yajna. In this yajna, flesh obtained from the forest by hunting could be offered. However, in the present age, Kali Yuga, this kind of offering is forbidden. Quoting from the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Ashwamedham Gavalambam Sanyasham Palapvaitrakam Devarena Nasutopatim Kalau Pancha Vivarjayat. In this age of Kali, five acts are forbidden: the offering of a horse in sacrifice, the offering of a cow in sacrifice, the acceptance of the order of sannyasa, the offering of oblations of flesh to the forefathers, and a man's begetting children in his brother's wife. The word palapitrakam refers to an offering of flesh in oblations to forefathers. Formerly, such an offering was allowed, but in this age it is forbidden. In this age, Kali Yuga, everyone is expert in hunting animals, but most of the people are Sudras, not Kshatriyas. According to Vedic injunctions, however, only Kshatriyas are allowed to hunt, whereas Sudras are allowed to eat flesh after offering goats or other insignificant animals before the deity of goddess Kali or similar demigods. On the whole, meat eating is not completely forbidden. A particular class of men is allowed to eat meat according to various circumstances and injunctions. As far as eating beef is concerned, however, it is strictly prohibited to everyone. Thus, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna personally speaks of Goraksha, cow protection, meat eaters, according to their different positions and the directions of the Shastra, are allowed to eat flesh, but never the flesh of cows. Cow must be given all protection. Verse number 8. Vikukṣi offered the remnants of the flesh of King Ikshvaku, who gave it to a Vasishtha for purification. But Vasishtha could immediately understand that part of the flesh had already been taken by Vikukṣi, and therefore he said that it was unfit to be used in the Śraddha ceremony purport. That which is meant to be offered in yajna cannot be tested by anyone before being offered to the deity. In our temples, this regulation is in effect. One cannot eat food from the kitchen unless it is offered to the deity. If something is taken before being offered to the deity, the entire preparation is polluted and can no longer be offered. Those engaged in deity worship must know this very well so that they may be saved from committing offenses in deity worship. Verse number 9. When King Ikshvaku, thus informed by Vasishtha, understood that his son Vikukṣi had done, he was extremely angry. Thus, he ordered Vikukṣi to leave the country because Vikukṣi had violated the regulative principles. Verse number 10. Having been instructed by the great and learned Brahmana, Vasishtha, who discoursed about the absolute truth, Maharaja Ikshvaku became renounced. By following the principles for a yogi, he certainly achieved the supreme perfection after giving up his material body. Verse number 11. After his father's disappearance, Vikukṣi returned to the country and thus became the king ruling the planet Earth and performing various sacrifices to satisfy the supreme personality of Godhead. Vikukṣi later became celebrated as Śaśāda. Right. So this was the total the reading from verses from 6 to verse number 11. So just to summarize what we have seen here in this segment, in this chapter, in this verse number 6 to 11, right? So the verse number 6 talked about basically the Śraddha, how the Śraddha is ceremony is performed, and we have seen that that is conducted in the dark moon side of the month, dark fortnight of the month, basically. So Śraddha ceremony that it was talked about. And Maharaj Ikshak was performing that oblations in this, so we have seen that. And in the verse, again in the 7 to 9 verse number, it talked about basically how Vikukṣi eats a rabbit. Vikukṣi, and I will just use it. Vikukṣi eats a rabbit, and it's a rabbit. And in the next section, we have seen that verse number 10, Ikshvaku's disappearance, and then followed by the verse number 11, Vikukṣi becomes the king. Okay, so just to summarize, Ikshvaku disappearance, then followed by Vikukṣi becomes the king. Vikukṣi becomes the king. Right. So this was the quick summary we have seen in this segment. Shraddha ceremony, how it is happening, and conducted by Ikshvaku, and he ordered the flesh. Vikukṣi went to jungle. He eats a rabbit. Ikshvaku now in the verse number 10, how Ikshvaku is disappeared, he renounced and disappeared, and Vikukṣi becomes the king, and also he is known as Śaśāda. Right. So this is the quick summary of from verse number 6 to verse number 11 we have covered. Now in the next section, verse number 12 to 25, we will be continuing in the tomorrow, and from here we will be continuing next another 3 days to complete this chapter. So we'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।